Hello, hello! My lovely Guardians! Alright, so it's been a little while since I've sported some Amumu in the jungle. But we're gonna change all that. And why have I decided to go for Amumu? He's a great tank. But mainly because we have a cat mid. Katarina mid. And this is another reason too. Curse Touch. Amumu's basic attacks curse the enemies for 3 seconds, causing them to take 10% bonus true damage from any magic damage they take. So I get in there, I do a basic attack, it curses the enemy, and Katarina can continue to do 10% more magic damage in, magic true damage, or true damage from the magic damage rather. And so the longer I stay in fights, I'm gonna smite this guy. 90. I'm not gonna smite. There we go. Alright, so they're gonna be crying soon. Alright. Just toggle your W to turn back to turn on and off your So that's not a good sign that Cat lost that so early. Stop crying. The Momo has a pretty good engage.
Where are we going?
Pretty good kit to engage with.
Let's find some friends.
So you'd want to definitely want to take advantage of it. Now Vigar is pushed in so much. Gonna gotta try to steal something, but it doesn't look like we're gonna be able to. Vigar is the man that we would want here. There we go. There we go. Got away with our life there. Got away with our life there. I would have rathered Cat get that, but better than nothing. Cat might know how to snowball, but in terms of her lane, she might be a little problematic here.
Find some friends.
We're gonna get another in our E, I believe. Yeah. throw a word right there.
Go with me.
Okay. Throw a word right there. Just gonna smite.
Find some friends.
Now we don't know where the Vigar is at the moment.
Aw. Let's find some friends.
Okay, there's the Vigar.
Come play.
We're not gonna be worried about top. There's not a whole lot we can do because Singed is gonna scale. Essentially, Sinjin's gonna be more, Sinjin's gonna do more. There we go. He actually handled it all by himself. Like, Singed is gonna do more. Let's see. Let's actually get. I'm so bad with stalkers because I never use it. Control word. All right, get out now. Now, Katarina does not need. Yeah, there. That ward just paid off for itself. See, there's a. All right, he's dead. Not bad. That word pretty much paid off for itself right there. Alright, that's all we're looking for there. Alright, just gonna protect him. Okay, we've got our ultimate. Now that is a pretty big deal. We are going to walk this way. And it's going to be as easy as that. We get some wards. We're going to shoot a ward over to the blue buff over here. All right. So Cat is poised to do some damage in the bot lane. Like she's meeting Warwick there. I think she can do damage enough to. Yeah, let's see what's going on down there. Okay, I don't. Uh-oh. You might be, yeah, she was trying to handle a little too much there. Oh, for some reason, I couldn't use my, Alright, for some reason I couldn't use my bandage toss because I was silenced. I wonder if that was a rework. Alright, so we're going to finish this item off. And then what do we need here? Do we need CC? No, we're gonna need Ninja Tabe. A little later on. No, we don't need that.
Okay.
Head out. So that tower's gone. We're gonna look to make it would be good to make a decent play in the bot lane. We're gonna get our butts down to bot lane.
Come play with me.
Alright. We're gonna just walk out.
Where are we going?
Try to walk out. Oh, we're actually gonna live. Wow. Alright, he's gonna take a little damage. He's gonna take too much. Janna's gonna get away, gonna get Ninja Tabi, and then next, gotta focus a little on Abyssal Mask. Okay. Nearby enemies take 10%. Champions gained by mana. I don't think that's what we need. Leandries? I'm thinking Leandries is pretty good, but maybe not. Let's see what the Twitch has at the moment. Okay, Leandries looks pretty good.
Ah.
Okay, Cat should be dead here. She just made the wrong decision in trying to
Okay.
deal with the Singed here. Meaning she was baited by the Singed. So there's some limits to what we can do down here, but we'll see if we... I think they're alright now. Alright, the Vigar can't take his tower down too quickly.
Find some friends. Come play with me.
He's gonna put his little thing up. Yeah, there he is.
Let's find some friends.
Okay, able to get that. One of the things that could lead to the our defeat is essentially a couple of things that are just mistakes on our part, rather. Katarina, I don't think, was able to make too much of a impact. Yeah, Katarina isn't making much of an impact. The Warwick is a pretty good counter. Now I think they're gonna go after the Drake down here.
Let's find some friends.
Or at least that would be what they should do, actually. I'm gonna try to get vision in here with the scuttles.
Okay.
Just so if we need to get out really quick, we can. He's got... So they got... Okay, so now I'm gonna see about the Rift Herald here. Might be a little too risky. Oh, that's a bummer. Alright, that's good. It's unfortunately, it's unfortunate that, we're a bit behind. Warwick did find us here. Cat should not be doing that. It's just a little too risky. Seems like Warwick is just trying to do this on his own. So at this stage in the game, we're going to try to get as much farm as we can. So we deny, we deny it from the enemy, essentially. Alright. This lane is fine. Need to go mid. Let's go for Leandries, yes. Oh, so they're actually recovering. So the enemy just discovered that they've been just hanging out too much because we knew their whereabouts, we knew about their position and all that. Okay, in the area. The Cat is still making plays that are just too risky. But also the Cat seems to know how to waste a lot of the enemy's time here.
Come play with me.
The Warwick is like looking for some kind of camp or something. Look how this Warwick is crazy, man. But here we go. Warwick shut down. But But yeah, with techniques like that, meant to do that. But yeah, what the team what the enemy team is not taking into account is like they should not be skirmishing all the time. Alright, we're gonna back out. We're not gonna do their wolves. Oh wait, there's Warwick. Oh, that's kind of silly to do with the rift right there. Alright, so we're gonna get this. We're gonna look at their build. Most of it is magic damage coming from... Yeah, so... magic damage, so health is probably the way to go. Abyssal Mask? Yeah, let's go for an Abyssal Mask. Alright, one down. Almost Rifty. Alright. A little bit of a misplay on my side here. We're gonna get some wards around Baron. Gonna get a ward here. A ward in here. So we can have vision. Now they're totally ignoring their top lane here. I guarantee you the Warwick 71 CS to my 129. I got a flash. I can hang out for a bit. If I can scare away the Twitch, then they won't have their damage. Okay. Just about Baron on the goal. There we go. There we go. All right, now we do a Baron. Or not? Thanks, buddy. Alright, so since Sivir is all the way down there, it's gonna be problematic for us. The Twitch has come out of nowhere and surprises Cat. That's one thing that a lot of people Even me, like... Even me, I have trouble, we're gonna get rid of this item, we're gonna try to get rid... Oh, I'm not in there yet. Okay, and we're actually going to go, magic. Elixir. Alright, I'm in trouble. Alright, I played that poorly. But the Singed is really showing, like, his ability to cause problems for everybody. I was trying to defend the base. There could have been a time where I could have defended a little better. But, the Singed, I think, is the clutcher here. Oh, nice. There we go. But we've got... Well, actually, yeah, we only have one inhibitor down. That's not too bad. Looks like we hung in there. We're going to be getting some vision on Baron. I easily could have played that better. Fortunately, I did not. Vision on Baron is going to be still here.
Let's find some friends.
Board it. Hopefully people will come. So I did enough damage.
Come play with me.
Alright, the flash out. Hopefully I'll live. Alright, I'm living. All I wanted. All I ever wanted was to... Alright, it's gonna heal up. We're gonna try to assist the cat. Cat's gonna get stunned. Alright, I gotta back up. Sivir is going to do what she can to die. Okay. We got 180. I think we'll wait for it. Not a lot we can do at the moment. Go. Take care of these guys down here. Alright, I tried. So we could have a good fight. I would like to have a good fight. And we have Baron warded. So 850 is how much we can do here. Now Singe is gonna try to distract. As long as we have Baron, okay, we're gonna get vision on Baron here. I think they're gonna try to engage here. Twitch is gonna Pop out of nowhere. Alright, so I have to use my ultimate here to slow him down. Okay, never mind. Alright, never mind. Doing what I can, but that's interesting. She actually used her spell shield when she could have absorbed it through Vygar's thing there. But too many mistakes were made. It made it harder on me to try to make a play. I actually went in that fight thinking that I had my ultimate up, but I didn't. So the team got pretty far ahead. Now we are actually, as crazy as it sounds, a late game team. But I think the most mistakes were coming out of Xin lost his. I think Xin lost his lane top. I think bot lane did okay, not especially well, and Cat was countered by things like Warwick and stuff like that, and she was just too aggressive. So we'll give it to. I think we'll give it. Oh, okay. Not enough time there. Riot doesn't feel as though we deserve enough time to talk about the champions who deserve it and the champions that don't. But I think Leona deserved because she actually made a few plays that I thought that were correct. As far as farm goes, the Warwick was really trying to help his team out, and he also has a lot of kills. But what that tells me is he's hogging a lot of the gold, and the Sin. Okay, so yeah, he's hogging a lot of the gold. So they actually have a decent. We actually are pretty even as far as items. We're pretty even. So if the team fights could have went better, if we could have just made better decisions as a whole, I think we would have done better. But I think it was a number of times where we didn't take the Singe into account, and the Singe can be such a problem. And that's why I said before that Singe would outtake the outtake the Xin in terms of more options or more ability to crowd control and things like that. He would be more useful late game, and Xin really doesn't have a good way of balancing that out. Like, he doesn't have a good way of taking care of the Singed early on. So that's one of the problems with the Singed, with the Xin top. Even if he's a decent guy, even if he's decent at his champion, he's gonna have a very hard time, because you can even look at his build. He's not building any magic resistant whatsoever. So he got countered pretty hard. So as it stands, like, I got Liandry's Torment. I thought that might be a good idea because a lot of their damage is magic, and damage is coming from Warwick. I didn't think that a lot of damage would be coming from the Twitch, and that was when he had Blade of the Rune King, but he had these additional items. So he got enough farm, he got enough kills to where he has actual damage right now. So I would say, like, early on, Liandry's Torment was a good option. Because, like, if I can get a good ultimate off, and it's I feel like I need to do more damage. And but I just need to get used to Amumu, the champion. Like, it's like with other champions, you don't have to worry so much about getting in between minions or something. But with Amumu, with his bandage toss, you have to adjust certain things to get your bandage tossed in there. Otherwise, you're gonna hit a minion, and you really need all your abilities to go off flawlessly. There was one incident where they hung out too long in the base, and we got them all, but still, as a team, we weren't together. Like, I was positioning towards Baron, and if we had gone Baron at that point, maybe things would have been different. Maybe things would have turned out different. But that play, because people were kind of like miffed by the whole situation. They were not in it, or they really couldn't see the fact that we could get Baron, or at least we had a really good chance of getting Baron, and the risk factors were outweigh the benefits would outweigh the risk factors because we were behind. We need to make a little more desperation play. I think the Twitch would have surprised a couple of people, because that's kind of what Twitch does later in the game. And you really have to travel as a group, because if you're hanging out, just one person, and Twitch all it has to do is pop up, and he just does so much damage. I don't even think Cat can assuage all that damage. But secondly, you don't know if Janna has a lot of speed ups. She's quick, and she's got Talisman of the Ascension, so she can throw a tornado to interrupt Cat. Just she's lying in the fog of war, something like that, and put a shield on Twitch to save him. So a lot of these things, the Janna was probably keeping them alive strong. She was doing a great job. So they had a good team comp, more so than we did. Kat did a lot of things on her own, and it resulted in a lot of her deaths. I felt as though, like, going this build, it would allow me to be tanky enough, but at the same time, I felt as though my ultimate needed to be strong enough to chop everyone down so Katarina or several other people could get, kills off. So that's kind of like the way I thought about it. Because they were so far ahead that a big play by me and a decent chunk of damage. But you could say that this is not the correct build, because I should have had something that slowed down some of the attacks from Twitch. But I really didn't see too much action from Twitch. The action was coming from the Warwick, from the Singed, and Singed was doing magic damage, and I felt like, well, maybe something like a Gaius of the Legion would have been better. Maybe they should have items to slow down people's actually movement speed. Movement speed on players like Singed is so horrible. You can just walk around the team and take damage, and then heal up and walk your way out of there. So yeah, there's pros and cons to this, but I thought I'd give it a try. But now that I think about it, Gaius of the Legion might have been better, but it seemed like an okay item for the time being, but probably not the best item here. And as far as this item, I should have probably gone. I should have stuck to my guns and gotten a defensive item. But it seemed like a good idea. However, I probably should have gone a cooldown reduction build. Yeah, I think that's what I needed, a cooldown reduction build. Anything that's defensive and it gives me cooldown reduction, that's what I needed. The Sivir, you got your she's lacking in a damage spike. She's actually missing an IE. So she's missing quite a bit. So actually she didn't do too well as far as bot lane. She went probably even with the Twitch. And I think Sivir has some advantages earlier in game, and Twitch will outscale her eventually. But she's still gonna do a lot of damage. But the type of damage, because Twitch has that spray and pray, he can just do tons of damage to entire teams. And with her, she's got to focus on one I mean, it's a little bit the same, but her performance relied on our team's performance, and the rest of our team was just playing so poorly that she was playing poorly as well. So I think I'll take a little bit of that back. She was playing fine. It was for her matchup and the Twitch. They were, not making any crazy plays or anything like that. And Leona also did a good job because she was staying in there. I think the cat was taking the game not very seriously, and she was making, it's hard to tell if somebody is just like intentionally or kind of like they're off center, like they don't know how to transition from one phase of the game to the next. If you're behind, you shouldn't try to be making these plays or stuff like that. But I try to set things up for the cat. I got one early kill for her, I remember that. But I got the kill. So maybe if she would have got the kill, everything would have been different. But I'm thinking not, because the way that she plays is so aggressive. You need to be able to turn on and turn off your aggression there. And then assess before you try to do anything. She did not assess. She just made a lot of risky plays that did not turn out well for her. Finally, and talking about Cat, we're gonna go into her build. She's got the Dark Seal. It's not gonna. She's died so much. This is gonna be an item that she never should have gotten. Hextech Gunblade is gonna allow her to sustain, do some extra magic damage with her ultimate, things like that. She's got Haunting Geist. She's got a Seeker's Arm Guard. She's actually pretty weak in terms of the late game. And she's got some Banshee's Veil for some survivability. But she doesn't have but one completed item. And that's not an item that is really that impactful. Katarina gets going around mid. That's like her dominant phase. Late game she falls off a bit. But late game, she's not supposed to have a build like this. This is poor itemization as well, because she just wasn't even completing these two items. The Black Pearl Billy guy, Zin, he just picked the wrong champion. He got countered because Singe does magic damage, and he's building towards the damage. Because Zin relies on his auto attacks to do damage, and his burst. So if you can get around that, you're good. I mean, how are you gonna defend yourself against the Singed? And the Singed is going to outscale you later in the game. So he had a bad matchup. It's rough, but try not to pick. It's a little easier on the rest of your team when you pick a tanky top. In this case, he was countered by the Singed. The Leona went Ignite here, and Ignite will be useful later, like early on. And I don't think, like, I would say you would use this if you think you can snowball your lane. If not, get ready for the late game and then take Exhaust, because Exhaust is going to be so much more useful putting it on Twitch, disabling his damage, than the Ignite. And then they weren't effective in their early game. Even Leona got a couple of kills. So Leona got Zeroth Portal. It's not the best item for Leona. It's really more for like a kind of unique top build. So in a way, she was kind of joking around with her itemization too. So there's a lot of issues with itemization here. Even me, I should have just stayed tanky. That's what I should have done. The Twitch, got your regular stuff. I believe he went for Blade of the Room King first. And that's sort of like if you want to farm your lane and you might duel at some point, unless you want to do early damage. Like, he kind of saw that the way that the game, if he saw that the way the game was going, that he's going to go Blade of the Rune King, and prolong his damage spike, that means he's going to get lots of farm, and, you know, later in the game, he's going to be a monster. He doesn't have especially large farm, but because he went Blade of the Rune King early rather than IE, his damage spike wouldn't have come online later in the game. But if he saw the way that the game was progressing, he wouldn't have to worry about that. Gianna did great. 28 supports sensor. You got your redemption. You got Talisman of Ascension. All great items. And because they were ahead, I would give my blessings to the Talisman of Ascension, because that would just add utility for a more offensive type of engage. And that's perfect for Twitch, because Twitch, he wants to surprise people. He wants to do a lot of damage, and that is going to help surprising people. The Warwick, he's got a combination of damage with Ravenous Hydra, although I think you don't have to go Ravenous Hydra. You can go the more tankier one, and I think it's more effective. You're going to do a little bit more burst damage, but the health that Warwick just takes advantage of so much. Why would you go with this? It's not going to add much, and you're going to get so much more survivability with the health version of this item, the healthier version of this item. The Vigar, he ramped up. He's got some survivability with Rod of Ages. Is some survivability with Banshee Veil, and that's great towards the Katarina. He is late game, and all he has to worry about is farm until he gets just big, and people have to worry about getting stunned by him. But he's got survivability. He built well towards the Katarina, even though I never felt like Katarina was doing that well in lane. Katarina might be good in a decent amount of matchups, but in this case, all Vigar has to do is stay back and just chill. But Cat didn't perform especially well in the mid lane, so the Singed pretty much dominated his lane and dominated the rest. Dominated the control of the party. I mean, he was just poisoning us. We were taking damage consistently. He was throwing us around, just doing consistent annoying damage, and it's hard to deal with that because he's got so much sustain. My goodness. And he's ahead, so he's late game, and what is Zin gonna do, man? Alright guys, so that's a rough game, but we had a few things running against us, and because I haven't been playing Amumu too much, I thought things would be a little smoother. They were kind of in the beginning, but the entire team kind of unraveled with wrong picks, too much aggression from the mid lane, and not too much happening in the bot lane, especially when the Leona is taking Ignite. So whatever happened in the bot lane, they couldn't take advantage of. They couldn't get their level 2 engage or whatever, so it didn't go well. And when you bet on the early game and you lose, well, it's in all practicality impossible to come back, especially with this meta where I find that you pick a late game champion and people don't know how to close out games. People don't know that you should go after Baron at some certain points because it's an option, and because people don't know that, the game ends up going later. And if a game goes late, who's going to dominate? The people who scale into the late game. Alright guys, this is Arch concluding this episode. Hope you guys have a nice day. Hi-yo!